We came here the first time in 1983 with Rocksteady crew. We did a showcase right about 2 blocks that way on the marina. Initially, we came here to showcase it, to like, yo, this is what it is. And you know, that was it. That was the, you know, they caught the fever from that.
B-boying was just starting to take off in Hawaii. And I remember seeing the Rocksteady crew and, you know, Crazy Legs and KUALI'I and Buck 4 and of course Doze.
That was the preliminary. That was the preschool to what I do now.
I gravitated towards Doze because, I mean, I actually had the most flavor out of the bunch. He was good with his hands as far as graph was concerned. I was like, wow, he could graph, he would, you know, b-boy. Everybody
who's a b-boy at least tried to MC once, tried to DJ once, tried to hand a graph. For me, it was just, it was the stomping grounds. It was like the intermediate school to launch me into something that became painting, became more expressive in other genres and other ways. You know, it led me to different avenues and stuff.
Those I know and I grew to admire was that the graph head, you know, inventor of that Muggsy and, you know, that b-boy, that iconic, like, you know, with that big fat lip. And when you think of the b-boy, I think of Doze.
I came across this album cover, right? And this album cover was of Rocksteady. And there were these characters, right? And the characters were situated where, like, they were battling, but they were calling each other out. And I was like, holy shit, this is dope.
You know, those cats standing and with their lean, with the big old shoes, with the fat laces and the Muggsy, you know? That and Doze is just, you know.
In my crew, I was known as the character guy. You know, anytime you needed a character, I would go up and whip up a quick character, right? And it was Doze's characters that everybody did. I don't care who you are on this island, right? If you don't give credit to Doze Green for influencing your characters, then either you weren't involved in hip hop or you're lying, okay? I'll be the first person to say Doze Green influenced the whole state as far as characters.
My early sketches were definitely influenced from Doze, you know.
His style was super influential on us.
Everybody knew that, oh, Prime got characters that would kill anybody on this island. And till this day, they still say the same, right? But I have to give credit to the source, and the source is Doze Green.
So like we're walking down the street, you know, it was kind of like, yeah, these guys don't dress like us, you know. You know, we have fat laces and shit. We had really too high shorts. They were way too high. They're like go-go shorts, OP shorts.
Because of Doze Green's style and the way he portrayed, you know, the b-boy, we wanted to be like that. You know, he gave us a visual to see what a b-boy looks like, you know, because you can hear about it, right, but you couldn't see it. Like I said, we didn't have access to all of these things. So he pretty much gave us a template to go off of. Yeah, and so we rocked the shell toes. That's the whole thing, rock the shell toes.
It was like what they knew, what they saw from the West Coast, they emulated here. It was more on the West Coast tip, like pop locking, a little bit of like, you know, line popping and whatnot.
My thing was characters, and so I would look at Doze's stuff and I was like, yeah, that's dope, but you know what, it's not from here, and I'm gonna add my own flavor to it, right? Because, yeah, like I said, we were given this handbook on hip hop and we didn't get all the pages, so we had to fill in like, oh, what if we do a B-girl character, but we add a plumeria in her ear, you know, something like that, where it made it island fresh and not just New York fresh.
I was already stoked coming to Hawaii for this year's Pow Wow. When I heard that Doze was on the roster, you know, I was like, what? He's gonna be here too?
I think Pow Wow bringing those two together, man, it's like brothers from different mothers, you know? These guys are solid.
He had this one production already set in his mind that what he wanted to do, and I guess when he left the islands, he felt he didn't leave it correctly, or like he stepped away on some weird vibe or something. So this is his way of like giving back to the island and come correct.
I spent quite a bit of time on the islands, and you know, I've got a soft spot and a warm spot for the islands and for the people. So I just felt like to pay respects, to pay, you know, pay homage to the ancestors and to the creation gods of the islands, and just to encapsulate the energy, the mana and the aina of the islands. I thought of doing a piece in relation to the creation gods, like I said, the Ali'i, like the ruling class, or the chiefs, the kings and queens of the islands of Hawaii. That's why you see this color palette. They are reminiscent of King Kamehameha and Queen Hamanu's, well, King Kamehameha's cloak, and this is just the colors that are representational of the Ali'i families. Oh really? I broke away?
He killed it as a b-boy. He's still killing it today, you know, like just, and you can see it just like in his line quality and his aesthetic is just, I love it.
You can't do it this good. You can never do it this good. You can never do it on this level. Fall back.
Aloha, mahalo, easy.